Okay, there we go. Okay. All right, I don't know about you guys, but I thought that was really fascinating. A lot of new information. Not a very long video, but quite intense and information dense. To me, it sounds like Israel should be where Ethiopia is now. You would like to comment?
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, David, I just want to comment. You know that the Ethiopians in what is the Lalibela,
yeah.
they maintain that they have the Ark of the Covenant there.
Yes. Nobody's allowed to
and there's a pardon? I don't know. My daughter went there. My daughter went there, and she couldn't see it, but it's locked up. But anyway, and there's someone that guards it, and apparently his ancestors and his ancestors have been guarding it. I don't know if that's the truth or not, but that's what they maintain.
That's been in like National Geographic and stuff like that as well. There's a lot of fascinating stuff in Ethiopia, archaeological wise.
Yeah.
But one wonders, Derek, why it hasn't translated into a better technology than Africa has anywhere. You know, it doesn't. All those genetic enhancements, including the size of the brain, etc. You know, there's something missing somewhere. It hasn't. Was it not Ethiopia that Bob Geldof had to institute massive famine relief programs? Wasn't it Ethiopia, or was that Sudan? I think it was Ethiopia.
They did have radical poverty in recent times, but I think they are now the 5th largest economy in Africa and the fastest growing economy in Africa.
Yeah, and they're the ones that have just completed the dam on the headwaters of the Nile that the Egyptians are complaining about as well. Interesting, yeah. And that should fuel energy availability and water availability for agriculture in that country. Yeah. So that's going to be interesting to watch what happens. Yeah.
So I remember there was an Ethiopian astronomer that we had meetings with at the observatory in Cape Town. Very clued up guy. And the airlines, I think they are quite an advanced country at the moment. One of the most advanced in Africa right now.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. And Derek, sorry, slightly different from that, but in the new edition of the New Scientist, there's a very interesting article about the Denisovans, exactly what he's talking about there, but that huge archaeological gap. So anyway, it's just worth, and that they currently have a whole series on human evolution.
Yeah, and they're saying that humans might have evolved in the Far East 300,000 years ago.
The Denisovans, those are not sure how everyone pronounces it.
Yeah, I think we think we know a lot of our ancient history, but I think we know only a tiny fraction of it. But you know, a lot of this stuff which is new to me in this Ethiopian video, a lot of it is very, very interesting, but it's also a lot of it makes sense. You know, it sort of fits in with I think things are sometimes described too simply in historically wise. I think things are a lot more complex than the current theories presume. So yeah, Peter, it's your video. What do you say, Peter Harvey?
Okay, got it back on. Yeah, the one thing that puzzles me is that, there's so much international travel now all over the world, everywhere to everywhere. Is the same thing not happening in many other countries? Why particularly Ethiopia? Why did they adapt to it? Is it the politics where they welcomed foreigners and there was no hassle, or I don't know.
Yeah, but interrupting, Peter, but I think he said it towards the end of the video that in fact what is happening now in the modern world is exactly that. But it's going to take generations to actually have the gene mix that he's talking about. It's, it takes many generations. I think he said 3,000 years. We might all look very different. It's happening, yes, but not quickly.
Yeah, so it is a time factor. Yeah, okay. I know we've only had jet airplanes now for 50 years or something. So, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I think he said there was 3,000 years ago, there was a major influx for some reason. And of course, in those days, there weren't jet airplanes and major travel around the world. So, yeah, that's very interesting. And the other statement that was made somewhere that Ethiopia has never been colonized, I just had a look at that because I thought Italy had been involved there. And yes, Italy did actually in the late 1800s, they did try to colonize Ethiopia, but were kicked out by the Ethiopians. And then just at the beginning stages or just before the Second World War, they managed to colonize Ethiopia for 5 years until the Allies kicked the Italians out. So that was for 5 years they were colonized by Italians. So it's not really a colonization.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you say that was the Germans, was it?
No, the Italians.
Italians, yeah.
Yes, of course.
Look at their, if you look at their airlines, they seem to spend their main routes actually seem to go to Italy. I mean, obviously go everywhere else as well, but that seems to be a main route for Ethiopia, going to Rome and so on.
Yeah. Just getting back to the Denisovans, I don't know how to pronounce that word, but the set of articles in the New Scientist suggests that, and this was about 3,000 to 4,000 years ago, BC, that there were a series of massive explosions in that part of the world, East Asia, and that caused mass migrations. If you like, I can send you. I can't send the article; they won't allow me. But I can send the first bit of it, and then maybe people can have a look at it.
What would that be like? Volcanic explosions or something like that?
No, volcanic explosions.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sure. Send it to us. It all adds to the knowledge base.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be most grateful. I just wonder, isn't there, if you can't send the whole thing, isn't there a link that we can go on to maybe?
I've tried. I've even tried to send it to David in the battles, but I can. One can buy a single issue for about 37 Rand, or if you wait a bit, one can get it for cheaper.
It's a paywall. Okay.
Yeah, and I just can't skip it. But what I can send you is just copy and paste the papers that are related to it, because they always give all the papers at the end of it.
You know how I have found some of the articles that you've spoken of in the past, Elaine? I take the title and I Google it, and often somebody on X or something like that has posted a copy of the article. You get it automatically.
Yeah.
Okay. Will you do that? I don't know how to do that.
Just send me the details, the article, name and dates and so on.
Okay, will do.
Title and so on. Okay. One thing he mentioned right in the beginning, I think he said that everybody outside Africa has 2%. Did he say Neanderthal DNA or did he say Denisovian? I think Neanderthal. I think that's a bit of a generalization. I think that varies a lot. You know, some parts of, even in Europe, you know, some parts have got a lot more and other parts have got a lot less.
Yes, that was mentioned, in fact, in one of those videos that we watched a little while ago. Can't remember his name.
Yes.
About the migration, the world migrations. He mentioned that.
Yes.
That
I think it's just a bit of a simplification to save time, maybe.
yeah.
I think the article that Elaine was referring to mentioned that, you know, there's in the popular press, the Neanderthals were exterminated. But this article suggests, in fact, that it was just a gradual integration of the European populations and the Neanderthals until there just were none of them left. So it wasn't as if there was a great extermination or anything. They just happened to meld with everybody else. So, no, interesting. I think that's what the genetics is now saying.
Yeah, it makes sense. Makes complete sense. Same thing with the I think with the Ethiopians, I think what he mentioned was their culture is that they're very open to. They're not sort of anti-immigration like a lot of the UK and America and these countries are right now at the moment. So it is in their culture to easily absorb, you know, foreigners.
The DNA history supports that notion, absolutely. Yeah.
So if you want to be like Trump, you're going to lose all your beneficial DNA. Not a good thing.
Yeah.
But the medical aspects are actually just fascinating. You know, fascinating that they are the country with all that incredible variation. But I wonder if, you know, what they would find if they went and did such detailed DNA genome sort of cataloging in different countries like South America and other places as well. One wonders what they would find.
Yeah, this is why I was very sad that Bernd Rosenkrantz couldn't join us. It was a very, very great pity that, because he certainly could have given us a lot of information on that, I think.
So maybe afterwards just send him our discussion link as well. And I suppose you did send him the video link?
I'll definitely send it through, yeah.
Send him and did you send him the transcript?
Yes. Are you going to send a transcript then? Or will you be sending a transcript?
I did send it to you. I sent you the transcript.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay.
Summary of the transcript. But send it to him and ask him to comment on it and send us an email maybe with his comments.
Okay, will do. I might even have sent it to him actually.
Yeah. Maybe we should just ask him for his comments if he's got time. You know, would be interesting.
Sure.
Sounds like he's a very busy man.
Yeah, he seems to be.
Right. Did you ever fly that way through those parts of Africa when you were doing that, Peter? Peter, is your mic on?
Yes. Sorry. I didn't quite get that question, Derek. Please go ahead.
As when you were flying for, what was it, Botswana Airlines or whatever, did you ever go up Ethiopia way, or did you just sort of go commute between Europe and...
Ethiopia was one place. We went to lots of places in Africa, but Ethiopia was one place I never managed to go to, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah, I've also never been there. It might be very interesting to go and visit it. David, you said
I believe
you also went there.
I believe it's a beautiful country for a visit too, but it just doesn't seem to be on people's tourist schedules for some reason.
It's not a typical tourist destination.
Yeah.
I tell you what, for those photographs that he showed in this video, that seemed to be a good-looking bunch too.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, they are. Yeah. I do know a lot of people who fly to Spain, use Ethiopian Airways. It's just a shortcut and a much cheaper way.
Yes.
But you know what? I was just wondering, how on earth does one protect the genetic variants? I mean,
I think, you know, as an example, the Americans tried to pinch the genome of quinoa from Peru.
That's right.
And they wanted to apply a patent to the genome.
Something happened.
And I would think that Ethiopia now wants some sort of return on if any of their genome is used for medical research. They want to try and put get the patent, as it were. But because that's why they said that on the video that they want to protect.
Yeah, but I was just wondering how one does it.
With difficulty, I would imagine. Yeah,
it's just incredible that they have that what pieces of functional DNA which has become unusable in everybody else, and large chunks of it apparently.
Yeah, you mentioned the medical thing, that all those diseases that they have resistance to, I think must be of great interest to the rest of the rest of humanity, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Maybe get your granddaughters to marry an Ethiopian.
But I'm also fascinated by the oxygen exchange. Because, I mean, they're all tall and skinny. And in Peru, the Indians that live at high altitudes, they might, I think they just develop more blood cells, and they're quite short and stocky.
Barrel-chested.
Yes. And yeah, it's quite interesting, the blood exchange, the blood oxygen exchange.
How the environment affects
totally different mechanism to the other populations which have.
The Sherpas in Nepal and all those types, they're all being shown to have modifications. Is there any connection between the two? Because they're both isolated.
They have a totally different mechanism. I think they just make more blood cells, and they also have a genetic resistance to extreme cold, I think. But like Eskimos. Okay, we seem to be running. Jenny Morris, are you still with us?
I don't think she is.
She's gone. Pity. She might have been able to make some medical comments. All right. If there's nobody else with interesting stuff to say, shall we wrap it up? Quick one this time, but very, very interesting. I think well worthwhile. Have you got any comments?
No comment. Thank you. Interesting topic.
Very, very interesting. And perhaps we can get some updates again when there are some, Peter, in a few months' time or a year's time or something like that.
Yeah, thank you, Derek. That was interesting.
Okay, thanks for your attendance, everybody. And we'll send you the link to the discussion of this. All right, enjoy the rest of your evening.
Okay, thanks for organizing the Zoom, Derek, once again.
All right, cheers.
Good night,
Thanks, everybody. Cheerio.
Bye-bye then. Thank you.